back to my channel. My name is Maya Della Messiah, but if you want to, you can call me Maya. In today's real estate video, I'm going to be talking about different ways or different jobs you can do as a newly licensed agent, but it's not like you're actually doing the agent work. I'll explain. All right, so once you get your license, I'm sure a lot of people know you don't really start making money right away. And even though you want to do real estate full time, it's a little bit harder than you think it might have been at the beginning. Or like, how you have your idea of just gonna sell this amount of homes in this amount of time, and I'm gonna do XYZ, but then you end up finding out that it's not exactly that way. However, to avoid going broke, and like I said, to avoid going broke, because there are so many expenses that comes with being a real estate agent, just besides the exam and paying for to be in a part of the MLS and to get your super key to unlock the homes. You have your monthly brokerage fee, you have your first year's test that I still have not even done, but I'll get to that later. But you have a lot of different expenses that you have to keep up as an agent, and it can get so costly. But I have created a list of, I put together a list of jobs that you can do as a newly licensed agent so you don't go broke. So first on my list is a real estate agent assistant. Now it's pretty straightforward, and this one will be my favorite because you get to pretty much shadow and do all of the work that you will be doing eventually on your own. However, you do get to like slowly ease your way into it and ask as many questions as you want to, and always have just something to lean on, I guess. And for example, if you are doing contracts for this agent, you are able to talk to her and ask him or her along the lines like, hey, what's this mean, or what does that stand for, or what I do in this section in XYZ. So I put together, I picked out some of the duties that you would be doing as a real estate agent assistant, but of course you can always go on Indeed or ZipRecruiter just to see like what a typical assistant does. First things first, marketing homes on MLS, on real estate websites and social media, be a backup to property management, which includes work orders, moving in and out inspections, coordinate repairs, under contract slash closing coordination, under contract / closing coordination, processing files, responding to prospect inquiries via email / data entry, generating ads and launching campaigns. I'm sorry, I'm sure you can hear my daughter knocking. I'm trying to film as fast as possible, hence why I'm rushing. But yeah, so pretty much like I said, as a real estate agent, you kind of understand what it's kind of like self-explanatory. You're gonna be assisting them in their day-to-day activities, whether it be responding to emails, or maybe showing homes for that agent, or filling out the contracts for the agent, just simple stuff like that. But like I said, it's a good way to get some intel or an idea of what you're going to be doing once you're on your own, God willing. Next up is closing transaction coordinator. All right, so for this job, you can expect to open files as contracts are received from real estate agents, obtain additional information for closings, review contracts between buyer and seller, to ensure seller can convey acceptable property title. So to my understanding, closing transaction coordinator, pretty much you're handling the closing process. So once the buyer has accepted the offer, you're going to be communicating back and forth between the seller, make sure that everything is in order, contracts looked up to date. You're going to be following up with the buyer to make sure that they have everything in order, to make sure that the financing goes through. And like I said, that's just my understanding of what a transaction coordinator, a closing transaction coordinator is. Just pretty much doing everything in your power to make sure that you have a smooth and successful close. And if I did not explain this correctly or explain it to where you can understand, you can always look it up on Indeed and see exactly what you be doing in your area. Next on my list is an inside sales rep. What an inside sales rep does is pretty much they're just nurture leads. So first, you may be required to generate and source leads, like baby leads, whether it be posting ads on Facebook, or you might have like obsolete leads, whatever the circumstance might be for that particular company. And then what you're going to be doing is just constant following up and persuasively advising them to do what's beneficial to them to be able to be in a position to get in that position to buy a home, whether it be leading them to a right mortgage company, or telling them what they need to do to get their credit up to par, or just get themselves in a position where a mortgage lender will be like, okay, you are a good candidate. So you're just going to be nurturing them until it's time for them to buy. And this can be over a span of 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year. And then once that person is ready and they have everything in order to go on to the next step, and you know, that's getting pre-approved and then going on to buy a home, then you hand that lead off, that nurtured lead off, to an actual agent. Now with inside sales rep, it is an hourly job. I think you can get commission with this one, and for the most part your license does have to be with this brokerage company. And not everyone has inside sales rep, but some people do, and it's just a good way to make money and still be able to see, you know, like what, like how, like follow-up is so important, so you're able to see what it takes to be able to get to where you can buy a home, so that when you're on your own, you have all the knowledge that you will need for your clients to make sure that they're in the best tip-top shape to buy a home and to get their offer accepted and to live happily ever after in their home. So last up on my list is joining a team / co-agent listings. Now when you join a team, I still don't know too much about joining a team, but to my little understanding, you are a part of a team, and for the most part they provide leads, and they also teach you how to get your own leads. You're also going to be doing split commissions and split listings, I guess. And yeah, so just you're going to be doing split commissions. So I think once your team gets a listing, maybe all of you guys are gonna have a hand in marketing, or the contracts and the post on the contract process, or the post acceptance process. And then that way it kind of makes sense for the listing to be split. So like I said, I really don't know too much about it. I'm just going off of what I've heard. Sometimes, so what one lady explained to me was that so she would have provided me leads, and then she would have taken 50% of every single thing that I brought in, no matter if it's from my own or hers. And then I'm assuming that she would have provided me with the knowledge and just constant training and so on. So it's a good way to make consistent money, even though it might not be as much as you think you would want, but you're still making money. Even though you're technically a real estate agent, you're still making some sort of money in the end. It's a good way to see how you can source and generate leads, and just shadow them and ask them as many questions as possible. And sometimes you do have a contract, it's not like permanent. You can do like a 1-year contract or a 2-year contract, or however you want to do it. You can do it yearly, or you can do co-agent listings. And to my understanding, that just means, like, for example, let's say you make really good friends with one agent, and then they bring you on to, like, not necessarily a team, but let's say I made friends with you and I see you're new and you want to make some money. I will have you do all of my paperwork and give you like 25% or 30% of my commissions. All right guys, so I hope that made sense, and that did give you an insight of what you can do other than just being a real estate agent once you get your license. Now I did this video because if you watch the previous videos, like, I had my first closing like 6 or 7 months after I got my license, and I've been on a break since then. Just a whole lot going on, and I'll explain all of that afterwards. However, what I wished I had done was, I wish that I had either done I wish I had done inside sales rep, because I feel like that's a little bit more doable, or that's just in my category. I wish I had known about inside sales rep, or even I wish I had known about base pay brokerages. Like, in my area, we have a lot of new construction companies that are building up. So because you know, they're building up, they need people to sell their homes, and they have a base pay of like 40K a year to 30K a year. Like, I wish I had known about that and I could have done that. I don't want you guys to be like me a year later and have only had 1 or 2 closings. And I'm coming up on my year of being a real estate agent, and I can't even, not that I can't afford it, but it's not a priority for me to do my 1 year post license course. I'm gonna do it eventually, but it's not a priority because I have other stuff to be doing. So I just don't want you guys to be in my predicament. So I'm just giving you some ideas of what you can do once you're newly licensed, so that you don't get discouraged, so that you can, you know, get your foot into real estate and tiptoe and see all the ins and outs. And then once you feel like you've got it and you have all the knowledge that you do want to, that you feel like you needed to have, then you can go out on your own. And then by then you have a great way of sourcing leads and generating and networking, and then what to do after you have gotten your, you know, your clients under your wing, and to properly lead them to a successful close, if that makes sense. Like, it's a whole lot that goes into selling, or, you know, it's a whole lot that goes into closing a deal, and a lot of people do not know that. And then once it comes down to it, yeah, it's like, oh, I kind of want to like step away from that. But I don't want you guys to be doing that. So that's why I put together this list of jobs you can do once you're newly licensed to still make money and not go broke. Emphasis on not go broke, because it is so freaking expensive to be a new agent. It is so expensive. Why didn't anybody tell me how expensive it was? I'm telling y'all how expensive it is. So yeah, please take my advice or not. And if you don't, you know, it's on you. Anyways, you guys, thanks again so much for watching my videos. Tell me if you enjoyed it, if it was helpful, or if you want to know anything else, and I'll be happy to give you guys some tips and some realness about how everything goes. All right, I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks again for watching. Bye. Love y'all.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah. Get out the way,